I'm gonna lose my mind!
Hello and welcome everyone. This video is going to talk about the one more game syndrome. This could be after a 2 or 3 hour marathon. It could be after a 12-hour marathon. It could be while your girlfriend or wife or mom or friend is saying, hey, we got to do this thing. Come on, stop, get off. Or you just in your own head thinking, I should go to sleep, but come on, just one more game. Like I lost, I got to get those points back. Or, oh, I won. Come on, I just want to play again. So we're going to dive into this. Before we do, I would really appreciate if you guys leave a like, subscribe, leave some comments below. Tons of content like this coming out. All right, let's get started. Okay, so point number one is basically looking at dopamine versus serotonin. Online chess, specifically bullet and blitz chess, tends to tap into our dopamine reward system. So this is characterized by basically short-term craving, reward, sort of that like instant gratification. Whereas serotonin is an equally pleasant feeling, but characterized more by a sort of calmer feeling of contentment, confidence, peace. So just to give you guys some examples here of some typical activities that would be associated with dopamine release are things like playing online chess, first of all. What else we have? Scrolling on TikTok and social media, shopping online, smoking, eating sugary foods, porn, winning or leveling up in a game, checking for likes or liked messages, or hey, if you're on YouTube, then subscribers and views and whatever. Whereas with serotonin, some typical activities that are associated with serotonin release would be things like meditation, taking a walk in nature, exercise or yoga, physical touch, helping others, or just simply getting enough sleep. So you can already sort of see the difference in these two chemicals that are released. And I'm not here to argue that one is better than the other or anything, but I think if we just simply look at these activities and you look at like your own life and how you usually feel when doing a lot of these. Personally, if I'm sitting on the couch and it's been like an hour, 2 hours, I don't have social media, but I have like just binged YouTube videos. I feel yucky. Like I'm sitting there thinking, I gotta get up, I gotta get up, I gotta do something. And that is completely different than when I have the discipline to actually like sit down and meditate, whether it's in the morning or in the evening, getting up and cooking, hanging out with my wife. It doesn't matter. There's a real difference in the feeling, right? And basically just to sum up the potential issue that this dopamine rush has while playing online blitz and bullet chess is that it has that effect of diminishing returns. It gives you less and less pleasure and you need more and more and more to get that high. Okay, so to further illustrate this point, I kind of browsed around and I found some different interesting articles. And one of them is a blog on chess.com called Chess and the Dopamine Cycle. Yeah, you guys can see this. And right here, so the author says, dopamine has been described as the wanting system as opposed to the liking system, such as serotonin. Its purpose is giving us small rewards for taking steps that causes pleasure, such as that little rush you get when playing online chess. It's very sensitive to cues. And this is like super interesting, I found. Such as the sound of an online chess game beginning. Just think, guys, when you like hop on chess.com and you start a game, or maybe it's been hours, right? And you hear that like, and how it does something. I don't know. I'm not even going to try to put it into words, but we all know it does something. So anyways, yeah, very sensitive to cues, such as the sound of an online chess game beginning. The problem is that we want more than we can have. The good feeling of winning a chess game gets reduced as one's rating stagnates. Sounds like the rating anxiety that I made a video on. We try to seek more and more while the rewards diminish and the dopamine loop is created. I will leave this down in the description below if you guys want to check out some of these, but I just thought that was interesting coming from most likely a fellow chess player. And then the second one here was an article on The Guardian called My Online Chess Addiction Was Ruining My Life. Something Had to Change by Stuart Kenny. Perhaps it was when I missed my bus so I could finish a 3-minute game of online blitz chess that I realized I had a problem. Oh man, I feel like that's nothing. Or when instead of getting off the next stop, I started another game on chess.com. Okay, it's getting a little bit more. I certainly had no qualms about the resulting half-hour walk home, narrowly avoiding lampposts as I continued to to line up ill-fated pretty moves against anonymous opponents. Okay, this is actually super funny, guys. I'll like be in the metro in Paris, play a quick blitz game because I'm just so bored. Now I really have it more reined in, and when I feel it's done or I just, I stop, right? But before, there were times where I literally have transferred lines, been walking up the stairs on the street, and like Paris is super crowded, with my phone out playing a chess.com game or Elite Chess. Actually, I only play on Elite Chess on my phone. And like literally sometimes I would even win, right? And I'm like pre-moving and stuff. So yes, it's just really funny that I'm not the only one who's experienced that. Blunder, resign, new game. I was addicted to online chess. I started playing chess in 2019, having previously only played as a child. I love the reasoning, the creativity, and of course the fact that people mistakenly think that you're intelligent if you play. We also talked about that in the other video. The problem was I had nobody to play with. When a friend introduced me to online chess, that changed. Chess skill is measured on the ELO rating system. Beginners have an ELO below 1200. A club player has an ELO of about 1600, while grandmasters are rated over 2500. If my rating was anywhere near a round number, for example, a ranking of 1500 or 1600, I would delay sleep until I got to the next 100 mark milestone. Holy crap, that's commitment. But sometimes the milestone would never come, and so neither would the sleep. I couldn't stop playing after a win because one often leads to another, and I definitely couldn't end on a defeat. So, I mean, yeah, like we can just end there. I definitely couldn't end on a defeat. This is probably the most common, I would guess, cause of the one more game syndrome on chess is if you lose, right? Like, oh, no way am I losing or am I ending on a loss? That's not happening. So I will also leave the link to this article if you guys are interested in checking this out. But yeah, just to sum this point up, basically dopamine versus serotonin. I'm not saying dopamine is bad. I'm not saying playing online chess is bad. Let me just clarify that because I feel like there's going to be tons of comments. I mean, I can't win them all. Maybe I should just drop it, but I am not saying chess is bad. I'm not saying online chess is bad or blitz or bullet is bad. It depends on you. Only you know that for yourself. But what I am saying is that be careful. My recommendation is to be careful about online chess. Personally, I have noticed that my quality of life and happiness and whatever has improved since I have stopped playing blitz and bullet chess, or, rarely. Every now and then I'll have like a little binge session or something, or just play some on the metro. But I've been basically only doing over the board chess, and I gotta say I feel better. Point number 2 is that this is not at all unique to chess. The one more game syndrome has been known to the video gaming world for probably time immemorial, or since the video games have been around. Yeah, I just wanted to point that out. The thing about online chess, as well as any other game, especially like apps, any app, any platform or website, their sole and unique goal is to get you to stay on it longer, to buy stuff, whatever. On chess.com, make no mistake, chess.com wants you to play as many games as possible and to stay on that website as much as possible above all else. I'm not saying that they're like these horrible tyrants. I'm just saying if you're not aware of that, then it can be tricky. Anyway, so whether it is, I don't know, like World of Warcraft, Call of Duty, and I was actually talking to a friend about this, about World of Warcraft, which is that I used to play that game a lot, right? And this kind of just speaks for all MMOs. The thing with MMOs that I've found is that, yes, they are extremely addicting. However, there's usually some sort of social aspect.
Who's this guy? You want me to kill him?
No, he's a friendly.
I want to kill him.
And all these are real players who are actually playing right here.
Hey, Dick, I asked you a question.
Good.
Say something.
You've got his attention.
You mad? Mad? Ain't a word.
And there's things like music, like legitimately some of my favorite, like some music I still listen to is from World of Warcraft, like, cause it's just super relaxing. It puts me in a mood. It makes me remember like happy, good, nostalgic memories. So you have that whole aspect. You have the beautiful like scenery and the game design. Think of games like Elder Scrolls, Oblivion and Skyrim. There's literally people whose jobs it was to go out and like just check out and look at plants and stuff and like research them or whatever to implement it into the game. And a game like that, oh my God, best example. Like literally for me watching someone play Skyrim or me playing Skyrim, is pure therapy. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. Maybe it's the same for you guys. I did want to give you a quick example. I found an article that has something to do with the one more game syndrome, but in a more global context of just video games. This comes from Game Quitters. The Danger of Just One More Game is the title. And yeah, every gamer knows this phrase. We've said it countless times. We've said it to our parents, friends, girlfriends, wives, children. For those of you who don't know the meaning, it's an endless cycle. This phase is uttered after every game when we know that it's time for us to stop playing. I thought that this last sentence was really well put, because that is kind of like the feeling, is that you yourself probably know when you say just one more game, if you actually utter it out loud, that is basically the moment that you should stop playing. And something happens. I think that when you in your own mind know, I should stop here, but you say just one more game, it's not the end of the world, right? It's not the end of the world. It's just that if this behavior continues, it can infect your life. And if not kept in check, that behavior, I'm just speaking from personal experience, can definitely have a negative impact on your life. Point number 3 here is chasing losses and sort of the gambler's trap. Some of the examples that I thought of using here are gambling, but I already kind of talked about that in the online chess video. So like you could also think of the stock market and trading. Maybe some of you, have traded stocks, and I don't know that much about it other than there seems to be a lot of importance on keeping a cool and calm, like sort of equanimity, not letting your emotions get involved too much. So maybe you invest in a certain stock. It could be for more short term or for more long term. If you're investing in an index fund or something, then you're probably not having to worry too much. You just put that money away. You don't think about it. But otherwise, like, there's this sort of chasing losses. You might have a stock go down and then you freak out and sell it all off. And then, oh, boom, it's Nvidia, and Nvidia explodes the next day. And you're like, oh my God, why did I do that? And this kind of has the similar effect in chess, I would say, which is that you can sort of fall into this emotional slump. And the second you lose or you start like a chain of losses, you want to be careful, because like, not that it's the end of the world, but it probably will affect your chess rating if you care about that. And basically it just feeds this whole cycle of one more game, right? Like, you lose and you got to make up for those losses. If you started at 1000 elo and then at the end of the night you're like 900 or God forbid 800 elo, like, no way are you walking away from that. Well, some people would, but that would be sort of that typical addictive behavior. And so, yeah, this idea of like chasing losses can be kind of dangerous and is very involved in this whole one more game syndrome. And to tack on to this point, chess tilt, the notion of chess tilt, which if you guys aren't familiar, tilting is basically just slang for getting angry or getting upset. It has that same similar like negative spiral effect, which not only can hurt your performance and your rating, but also might keep that one more game syndrome going on longer. And there's a lot of things at play here, because when you just keep doing the one more game, well, maybe it's been 3 or 4 hours, and let's be honest, guys, your brain is probably tired. You might actually be like super tired, especially if it's late at night. So there's like that, right? You're tired. You're not going to be playing at your best. There's the fact that you're playing simply for gratification and satisfaction. And of course that comes from winning. So what that means is your focus is more likely on just winning than playing good moves. And I'm just speaking from experience here. If I sit down, start up a 10-minute rapid game, and I'm just like, okay, let's just play a game. Let's just play a game of chess, maybe practice some of these openings. Very different experience than if it's like coming off of an hour or two and I launch another game because I want to win more and I just don't want to stop playing. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys in this video, because we did kind of already talk about this in the online chess addiction, but I wanted to go further, into the specific like one more game syndrome. For me, really the key takeaways and like recommendations I might have for you guys is really the dopamine versus serotonin, and just recognizing or sort of paying attention to how certain activities make you feel, and specifically how certain chess activities make you feel. So yeah, if things like being in sunlight and going for a walk in nature, are activities that can, bring about serotonin, giving you this sort of calmer or more peaceful feeling, then I don't know, like, one idea, like take a chessboard. If you guys have a chessboard, take a book or a chess book and go like sit in a park and study. I always like using the example of coffee, just like have a cup of coffee in the morning, open up a chess puzzle. It's going to be different for every one of you. But yeah, bottom line here is to just be careful of any behavior related to your chess that is falling into this dopamine sort of reward, like feels like scrolling on TikTok. Basically, if you're just launching game after game after game the same way you would be just scrolling, watching video after video after video, then it's probably not going to be making you feel really good. And if you're doing a bunch of chess puzzles and studying and practicing for a tournament and meeting new people, and you know, like I started a chess night in Paris because I wanted to build more of a community. By the way, if you guys are ever in Paris, let me know and I can add you to our group. I started a chess night because I was like, this is fun. And I truly do like the social interaction that I have playing with people. People are passionate. You know, like there was this one time I was in our chess club. I think it was, I don't remember if it was a lesson or if we had like a little blitz. I think it was a blitz tournament hosted by our local club. And, you know, there's like a newcomer. And he was just so humble and he kind of walked up like all shy. No one was really saying anything to him. And I think I don't know if I said something or he just kind of interjected and, you know, said, hey, like, you guys have any advice? Do you have any tips? I'm really new. And there's just something like really pure and wholesome about this moment where we're all sharing and there's this social interaction and everyone's passionate about it, right? Like we have a common interest, like common interests are great. So I'm probably rambling a little bit here. That's all I have for you guys. Before I sign off, just a reminder, if any of you are looking to buy a chestnut or any kind of electronic board, chessboard, where you can, you know, play online with an actual board with people on chess.com or Lichess, you can play against engines, all sorts of cool stuff. I recommend the chestnut board. And if you guys want to check out their products, down below there, you have the little promo code. My promo code will always give you 2% off, will always give you 2% more of a reduction than whatever is on the website. Sorry, I'm not speaking English. Gives you a reduction, helps me out. I really appreciate it. Chess coaching, I have officially started coaching. I've mentioned it in the other videos. If any of you are looking for chess lessons, whether it's just strictly with your chess, I'd say I can teach anyone up until around 1600 ELO. Yeah, happy to help you guys any way I can. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hi, everyone. One last thing. Yeah, I'm filming this way after the original filming for this video. One of my viewers emailed me about a Google Chrome extension that they actually developed where it's to fight against chess tilt, and I thought it was really cool and that I should share it with you guys. So basically I'll just read the email, part of the email at least, that they sent. So I coded a Google extension that simply blocks the new game / rematch buttons after a loss for a configurable cooldown timer. I also threw in a hide opponent rating button just for no rating anxiety, which I've personally found very helpful. And then he just goes on to explain how like great it's been working for him so far. So he gave me the link. I will put it in this description below if you guys want to test that out. I personally plan on testing it out. I haven't been playing much chess online lately, but it sounds great. So give it a try, and thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.